Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. It's Friday the 21st of November. Now, did I mention it's my birthday? Well, I must have done because somebody sent me this. So thank you very much for that. I'm not sure about the sentiments in that, but yeah, thank you very much. Right, enough of the stupidness, on with the forecast. This is the temperature anomaly across Europe for the next 7 days. You see here, look, just how warm it's going to become across central and western parts of Europe, but it's this cold out here that we're watching. Notice the sharp contrast between east and also west, and what we're looking for is the door to open for this cold air to get its way westwards. Now, the atmosphere doing myriad of things at the moment and is getting itself geared up into a different pattern, all part of the strato-warming event that's taken place during the last week or so. Interesting to note, look, that Ireland goes into cooler than normal conditions as well during the coming week, and actually across much of the UK. Temperatures near normal apart from just in the far south and the southeast. There are going to be some cold days ahead. Temperatures are going to be jumping around all over the place. Globally, here's how things look. Month so far showing us some very cold conditions there across the states. You might have seen the pictures of the snow that's been falling in the USA. Up to 5 feet of snow in places. I'll show you one of those in just a second. Warm across central and northern parts of Africa. Fairly cool down through South America. Warm look across Australia. And those are the sort of pictures that we've seen coming out of the States. Up to 5 feet of snow falling in places, and now a concern about when the snow melts and the risk of flooding. It's not unusual to see those sort of amounts of snow in November, and in fact Becky wrote a piece on the weatherweb.net site about this a few days ago, so go and have a read of that. It's really interesting. Anyway, interesting run too from the CFS yesterday. I'll show you the latest Japanese in just a mo, because of course it is Friday, which means we've got an update of that through. But this was an interesting one. CFS did this for week 3. So this is the 4th of December to the 10th of December. And look, puts high the normal heights towards the north, low the normal down towards the south. Now, what this would hint at is a flow coming in like so, and a flow like so, around from low pressure off towards the south of the country. That would put us into cooler conditions. It's still not desperately cold, because the feed of air, actually, the origin is kind of from here. So it's still not desperately cold, but it's certainly a colder look to things. And then for week 4, does this. Gets the high up towards the north. What that does is it brings in a south to southeasterly across southern parts of the UK. So still cool conditions there, but not desperately cold. But across the north and across eastern areas, bringing in then colder air that is going to be coming directly in from the pole across eastern parts of Europe, where it will be cooler by then. So it certainly sees a colder snap ahead in the early part of December. Now, the impression I'm getting from this one is that we are not talking desperately cold with any cold outbreak that comes, because Europe just isn't cold enough yet, but certainly a dip in temperatures from what we've seen, and probably temperatures below normal from the time of year. That's the way this seems to go, but still wouldn't rule out the chance that we could get a hit of more significant cold, but I think that risk looks to be a little bit lower. What this may be signalling, and I do need to go back through the records for this one, is that if we get a strata-warm event so early on in the season, does that lean a tendency towards more frequent events or other events coming in during the middle and later parts of the season? I need to go back through the records and have a look at that one. And this is what the CFS did in terms of temperature anomalies. So let's just zoom in. There's week 3. So that was 4th of December through to the 10th. And look, temperatures near normal across most of the UK. Says they're a little bit warmer than normal across the north. But then, into week 4, it does that, look. You see? Temperatures generally cooler than normal. And you see the orange colours there down towards the south, warmer down towards the south, cooler across central and northern parts of the UK. I think all of that area there is probably shifted northwards a little bit, but it is seeing those cooler conditions, and more so than it has done for some time, because for a long time we've been shown as oranges and in that warmer air, which of course is what we've seen. We are going through a very mild November. So what does the JMA do? Well, this is week 1, so this is the forecast up to the 27th of November. And this one builds the ridge off towards the east. It's still got the trough out towards the west, look, and we've got an east-southeasterly flow across most of the country. So this is falling in line with the other models. It suggests that we're in a cooler east to southeasterly flow. And I think temperature's kind of jumping round because we have got that pivotal point, the pivotal even point from if we do get that colder flow if it's more of a southeasterly, or a milder flow if it's more of a southerly. I think we're going to go into cooler conditions though for several days next week. Now week 2, this is from the 28th of November, taking us then up to the 4th of December. And this one picks up on trough out towards the east, look. The ridge, trough out towards the west, ridge off towards the east, and tries to bring milder air back in. So it's trying to get us more into a west-southwesterly flow. I still think this is a cool flow though, because the Atlantic's cool, it's not warming as much as it normally would when air comes in off the Atlantic. So I still think we're in a cool flow, but probably temperatures near normal and probably more unsettled. That's what it's trying to show. Into more unsettled conditions, jet stream trying to get into the country, bringing wetter weather, particularly the north and the west. What is interesting though, is what it then does for week 3 and 4. So this is from the 5th of December through to the 18th of December. And this one, look, this is for the whole of the 2 weeks. So this is the mean anomalies for 500 millibars for those 2 weeks. High pressure east, low pressure off towards the west, or low the normal heights off towards the west. Jet is in like so, doing something like that, okay? Excuse me. We're on the cold side of the jet, so it brings relatively unsettled conditions through the country. Low the normal heights with a trough towards the west. At this time of year, with a high centred perhaps across Eastern Europe and an easterly flow coming in, that's cooler air. That whole picture has more of a look of winter about it. So that pattern is certainly a cooler pattern, and one that could bring us into cooler, more proper-like winter conditions. Now, of course, it's a long way off. Anything could happen, but that is the colder look to things that we've been looking for. Although I stress again, this is not desperately cold. I'm not talking Daily Express stuff here, but it is the impact from that stratospheric warming event that we saw that's feeding through now into the longer range models. So it leans into this idea of the beginning part of December certainly being cooler than November has been, and probably seeing temperatures below normal for the time of year. Of course, we'll keep you updated on developments throughout here at weatherweb.net. And don't forget, you can subscribe to us on YouTube to get notified of all the very latest video updates. Now, if you're looking for Christmas presents for someone, why not go for our books and DVDs? This is my Weatherwise DVD, and this is my Pocket Weather Forecaster book. The Weatherwise DVD lasts for a couple of hours, and it's got various different sections in it that explain how the weather works and why the weather does what it does. And then Pocket Weather Forecaster book really is a perfect coffee table book. There's lots of pictures of clouds in, and it tells you what clouds mean and the weather that they predict as well. And if you go to the website, weatherweb.net, and then click on books at the top, you'll be able to see samples of both of those. Perfect Christmas presents, I'm sure you'll agree. So I'll leave you with that for now. Whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube to get the very latest video updates, and of course we do that through the website as well at weatherweb.net. But for now, whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.